Do y'all want some actual opinions from someone who's not British? Let's get into it. Oh. Hi everyone, my name is Nexos Floof. I'm here to talk to you about GSC. That was one hell of an intro, right? Anyways, let's go ahead and get into it. Roll the intro. Hey, little heads up from Floof in the future. Just gonna go ahead and throw this at the start of the video. There's a Discord. I made a Discord. If you want to talk to me there, if you want to chat to me, anything like that, go ahead and hop in. People told me to make a Discord, but I got kind of told to make a couple things, but I'm just gonna make the Discord right now. If you want in, link's right here, or a link's gonna be in the description. Cool, yay. I don't know, man. We talk about GSC, we do hobby stuff, and I made it yesterday, okay? Not a lot of people in there, alright? So don't judge me if it's small. My wife said it's big. Oh. You the goodest boy. Alright, so data slate. Holy heck. Holy heck. We'll go ahead and put that audio in instead of the word I said. Yeah, this is amazing. I love this. This is fantastic. What I thought was going to happen was the GSC was going to get nerfed into the absolute ground. I'm kidding. No, I didn't. I knew we were only going to get like brought down a little bit, because as we've seen from GSC lately, or not GSC, from GW lately, is that essentially they want to bring stuff down but not eliminate them from the game anymore. This isn't like 9th edition balancing to where if something's good it just dies. This we've seen in 10th edition to where stuff is good and it's just brought down to a level that is just all right. It's doing okay, right? So with what has happened today in Slatemas is really fantastic. We have right here the new changes. We have resurgence points, right? Instead of the regular cult ambush. What this is in our 2K games, because no one plays 1K and no one plays 3K, is that you get 10 points. And how this is going to work out is you can use these points when something dies to bring it back and put it back in cult ambush. That unit has to come back on the next step or next movement phase. So there's no something dying and you leave it in the game till turn 5 to go get you like some points or something like that. And there's no, you know, oh, my thing died in Overwatch on my when I was deep striking, hey, I rolled the cult ambush, the unit's just going to come back, right? There's none of that. So overall, it's a lot smoother, but it does have some rules on it. We can't rapid ingress anymore, and we have like, you know, we have to be back the next turn. But overall, I think it's something that's very strong. I like it a lot, and overall, I think it's going to be just an overall buff to what we've got going on. To go over the points that we've got real quick, essentially all the acolytes and metamorph units are 2 points for a 5. Yes. Am I disturbed? Oh, big yawn. Oh, hello. Sorry, he's grumbling and making noises. So all of the acolytes and metamorphs are going to be 2 points for 5, 4 points for 10. Neophytes and pure strains for their half-size squads are going to be 3, and then 6 points for the max-size squad. So 5 mana pure strain, 10 mana is 5, 6, and then 10 neos and 20 neos is 3 and 6 respectively as well. Bikes also are on the 3 and 6 part, and then the only difference outside of that is that aberrants are the only ones that aren't split to where it's like double per. A 5-man a 5-man is 5 points, and then a 10-man is 8 points. And I think that's actually very interesting for like brood search lists. I think right now you really want to take a 10-man of aberrants, just because you probably have them infiltrate up, be in your opponent's face, be really aggressive with them, and then either have it to where, like, you know, if your opponent is in a spot to where they can't deal with 10 more after dealing with your other 5-mans, then you can bring them in. Or if your opponent just kind of like has left them alone and like given them their own little point to go sit on, then you'll go, okay, cool, now I'm gonna go bring back all of my acolytes and punishing you for trying to play around me spending this 8 resurgence points, right? So it's something to where if you think very flexible with the rule, I think it's going to be even stronger. I don't think this is something to where in list design you go, I'm always going to bring back this 20-man and I'm always going to bring back this 10-man of acolytes. I don't think that's smart. I think what you should do when considering list building is setting up a game plan to where, hey, I can bring back a couple different combinations of things as the game plays out, and I realize what I need, right? So like for Swarm Host, I took out one of my 6 5-mans of Acolytes, and I made the 5th one actually a 10-man. Now what this allows me is that if I want to start bringing back all these 5-mans, I can, but if I'm in a situation to where I really need the damage from a 10-man squad, then hey, I can keep doing that. Do you want to go back on the bed? Yeah? Okay. Wow. Why? What are you doing? I don't want to hear it. Wait. Go on a little bit. Go lay down. Go lay down. I love you. Alright, so you want to be flexible with your list, right? You want to be able to do multiple different things and be fluid with how you are handling this thing. Now, with that being said, this is a quote-unquote downgrade from the previous Cult Ambush, right? We're not able to like roll high and get 1,000 points back, and oh, in Swarm Host I ended up getting 100 neophytes back, and I drowned my opponents in bodies. I mean, yeah, but like if that was the reason you won the game, then did you really win, or did you just kind of get lucky, you know? There is a difference, in my opinion. This allows it to where the rule is able to be expressed a lot better through player skill, while also allowing your opponent to play around it. And then another layer on that, allowing you to kind of outplay what they're trying to do, right? Like I was talking about with the aberrant thing, to where they kind of say, oh, I'm never going to kill these aberrants, because if I do, you're going to spend your 8 points on them, so I'm just going to go kill everything else first. And you go, okay, then I'm going to bring back all that stuff because you haven't dedicated to these aberrants and they've gotten their value, so now I'm going to start bringing back all these acolytes, so I have all these tools and all these things to bring later on into the game, right? I think it's something that's very, very strong, and something that's going to take some time to get used to. Thankfully, we've got a lot of time to prepare. LVO is in exactly 1 month, so I have no time to prepare, and that's great. Yay. Anyways, continuing on, there are some nerfs that we did in fact actually take. The nerfs that we actually did take are things like to Outlander Claw, you no longer is our OC just doubled, it's just +1 if we're not battle shocked, which I think is still pretty alright. It brings your bikes up to the 2 OC, which is very good. But now your Ridge Runners aren't 6 OC each, and just having 2 cars and a point is no longer 12 OC. That was kind of disgusting, right? I feel like we can all agree that. You still sticky, you still do all the other stuff, it's still fine. And then we lost the 3-inch from Host of Ascension specifically. Tunnel Crawlers is now a 6-inch deep strike, but at the same time, I think that's actually not that big of a nerf, because so hear me out. I think it's a side grade for GSC. If you aren't playing Host, it's just a straight upgrade. That is a buff to your list if you are not in Host of Ascension. In Host of Ascension, it is both a buff and a nerf. The reason being is that while we can screen out pretty effectively, the 3-inch is very annoying. For GSC, there are certain lists that just can't really screen out the 3-inch. 6 inches, however, is going to be a lot easier for lists. For me personally, I'm now in a point to where I can probably decide to not take the Clamavis, because I just have enough stuff on my back point and all these other areas to where I can go, you're not going to be able to 6-inch deep strike back here or on my half of the board or anything like that. Boom, we're good. So I don't have to worry about it. At the same time, though, that means also I can't get cheeky and steal a point that my opponent was on just because they didn't cover the puck, right? So it's a give and take. Overall, I like to be positive about this kind of stuff, and while it hurts to see the 3-inch deep strike go away, I understand why it went away, and I understand it's not a healthy rule, so for the sake of the game, totally fine. With that being said, we did get some buffs because of it. Essentially, all of our demo charges that was at 6-inch range went to 8-inch. So shout out to us, and take a dunk on Tau. Boom! Take that, Neltas. But yeah, so it's like Acolytes with Hand Flamers, the Rockwinder, the Truck, and the Reductive Saboteur. All of the demo charges went to 8. The only one that realistically affects in terms of the 3-inch deep strike was the Acolytes. So Rockwinders, Trucks, and Reductive Saboteur just getting a straight buff here. This is just good for them. The Reductive Saboteur now being able to be just at the edge of 8 inches, Grenade, and then throw a demo charge is fantastic. I genuinely think the Reductus Saboteur took a very big buff here that I really do like. Continuing on, we've seen in Xenocrete as well the stratagem that allowed you to reroll one cult ambush roll for battle line per turn got changed to now you just have 2 resurgence points, 2 extra. So in Xenocrete lists, you spend 15, 20, 25 points, I think it is, for the ability to bring back like another 85 to 90 points worth of stuff. That's, yeah, that's good, right? That's amazing. I love it. So overall, I think that's a very big buff. I think Xenocrete lists are looking amazing right now. And then the biggest change that I cannot be more happy for, and if I wasn't absolutely tired, because the British decided to drop this at 2 a.m. and I've been up since then, Armor of Contempt got dunked on. That's amazing. I love it. That's so good. It's now to where you only have the -1 AP in 1 activation. And overall, when I've been looking at Deathwing Knights on a point and I've got 3 Acolyte squads and maybe some Neophytes to all shoot into them, well, now you're probably only going to Armor Contempt the Neophyte squads, and now 15 Hand Flamers are well, 12 Hand Flamers are going into you, full wound rerolls, AP 1. Start making 3-ups, brother. I think this is fantastic. I love it. We are an army to where a lot of our damage in most lists, like Outlander, sometimes in Brute Search, a lot of times in Host, is over several activations, and just getting like this nice chip damage in and all this kind of stuff. And I think it's a fantastic change. I'm very much looking forward to this. This is overall my favorite thing to come out of the data slate, outside of Cult Ambush being changed to something I can get my hands on, right? So what other things happened to us? Well, we got 2 points nerfs, which I don't know why. Acolytes could have gone up, honestly. Neophytes are fine at where they're at, but like Aberrants might have been able to go up. There was stuff that could have gone up, to be honest. But all we got right now was a 20-point hit to the Abominant, which is insane. They really did not like Brood Search lists. And then a 10-point hit to Rich Runners, which totally understandable. I get that. It hurts. It really does. Because a lot of lists, if you're good, you are bringing these Ridge Runners. You should be bringing them. They are fantastic. They enable the army. However, at 85 points, there's a lot more conversation to be had of maybe you don't need it and you just bring other stuff, right? So it is what it is. What do I think overall GSC is going to be doing right now? I think it is still going to be winning a lot of games. I think for a competent pilot of the army, we are in a very good spot, and overall I'm very excited to see where anything and everything goes. I think there are some lists that I am pretty scared of. I think Grey Knights right now can just do some real damage into GSC. I don't know how that matchup is in terms of who's favored, but 6 of their knights with full rerolls to hit into my army sounds pretty bad. But also at the same time, maybe I just out OC all the points so they never have the full rerolls to hit. But then they're still just kind of killing everything because the knights do hit pretty hard. So who knows, right? All I know is that I'm looking forward to LVO. I think we're in a very good spot. I think with Guard going down, they got hit pretty hard, and I'm happy to see that. I think Death Guard really didn't get anything, right? They were also a pretty rough match for us. Yeah, Death Guard didn't get anything except Mortarion got Deep Strike, which sure. That I would love for my opponent to Deep Strike Mortarion and then he dies in Deep Strike. Thoughts? I think we should do that. Anyways. So, to simplify everything, just real quick, how is Cult Ambush changed? Cult Ambush is going to be changed to where essentially the GSC player you're playing against is able to get about 2 to 5 units back in the game. And how that's going to work is it's going to work on the order in which they die. When that unit dies, I can say I want to spend my points and bring this unit back, or I don't want to spend my points and bring this unit back. If I do say yes in the next movement phase, they have to come down. I can also bring them in through the blips that I have set down throughout the game. Okay. I can't bring them back in the same movement phase. So if I drop something down to do an action and you overwatch it and kill it, I can't be like, well, I made my cult ambush roll, it's just gonna sit here again. I feel like that was really dumb. It was very funny and I love doing it to people, but it was very dumb. And overall, games aren't just going to be decided because your opponent did or didn't, or you as the GSC player did or didn't make all of your cult ambush rolls. I think now it is, we have a game plan, we have a way to just express player skill through our army role, and that's very exciting. Genuinely, I think this is a fantastic change for the health of the faction. I do think a lot of GSC does need to be tuned down. I think there are some things that are just a little strong right now, but maybe right now with how the meta is, there's going to be stuff that keeps us in check. So who knows? Overall, I think that's going to kind of do it for me right now. I will say, in terms of list design and all this type of stuff, I think right now, like my list, I think I'm still fine running. It would have needed to take a hit to neophytes or acolytes for me to really drastically change a lot of stuff. I do have to move some points around. I don't think I'm taking the Kelomorph anymore. I think there's something to be said with the his little shoot and scoot going from 12 inches to 9 inches. There's a real discussion to be had of, hey, I'm just going to take Reductus Saboteurs at this point, right? It's 5 points more, and then she just does so much more that I really do like her a lot more. That being said, I don't know, man. GSC can go to a lot of different places right now. I think the Brood Surge lists are still going to be fantastic. I think you're still going to be going with them. I think that's like the staple of, I just want a more simple list to play. We're going to do that. Then in the more advanced things, you have Host and you have Outlander Claw to be able to do their weird stuff. And I think they're still going to be able to do them very strong. And I'm excited for what this next season is going to look like. So I hope that answered a lot of your questions. I'm still going to be having a lot of fun with Swarm Host and figuring out how to do like a full carpet list with these new changes and seeing what's good, what's worth being brought back, what's not worth being brought back. So let me know how your games are going. Let me know how everything feels. There's a lot of changes that have happened. We got to explore and see what's going on, right? So anyways, that's gonna be it for today. Thank you so much for watching, tuning in, and all this kind of stuff. That was my dog Hobie. I still don't have an outro, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.